Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to talk to you about work orders and why you need to ensure that you make perfect work orders every time for your team. The work order is the hub in your shop, right? And every single person that's going to produce the job or work in your shop needs to touch the work order in order to understand what they're supposed to do on the job. So, in order to ensure that your job is produced on time and to spec, you need to make sure that information entered is good, correct, and standardized, right? And it's that way every single time. What they say is garbage in, garbage out, right? So make sure that your work orders are good, and that'll result in you producing good work and delivering on time. Now, everybody in your shop needs a work order, right? From customer to sales, art department, procurement, receiving, production, and quality control, and shipping. So from the very inception, when you first started to talk to the customer, all the way down into production and all the way out, right? Every single person is gonna touch the work order. And, the purpose of the work order, essentially, the idea behind the work order, like perfect work orders, is that anybody on your staff, not anybody, everybody on your staff who's gonna have to touch it, needs to be able to pick up a work order like this, pick up my work order. I should be able to read it, know exactly what I'm supposed to do for my function or my task within the production workflow. So if I can't do that, 95% of the time, if I can't pick up this work order, read it, and know exactly what I'm supposed to do without going and asking somebody else, your process is broken, right? And you're not entering the information correctly. And as a business owner, you need to ensure that your staff and your team is doing that, right? Now, the basic information that's contained on a work order is just like customer contact information, delivery information about when and where, artwork specifications, and blanket specifications. So like, in order to print a t-shirt, all we need to know is, when do I need to do it by, where does it need to be delivered, what am I printing, what does the image look like, and what kind of shirt am I putting on, right? Now, like I said, information needs to be consistent and standardized and complete, right? Just non-starter. So if it's not that, they can't do it, they can't pick it up, read it, understand it, it's not complete or it's not standardized. And I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of templates to help you. If you take my class, you'll get a whole bunch of templates on how to structure the information, right? Now, what happens when the information isn't presented in a complete manner or standardized manner is that the workflow breaks down. So what happens when the workflow breaks down is you have inefficiency or loss of productivity. And that costs you as a business owner money, right? And it also creates frustration with the team members that are working on stuff. Nobody likes to, everyone wants to be able to do their task without having problems. And when you aren't able to complete that, people get frustrated, right? It makes people unhappy. People want to do a good job. Inherently, people want to do a good job. I would come back to that, which is people want to do a good job. And you need to help them as a boss. So I'm going to give you some examples on how the flow of information works in a work order in an ideal situation. So the first point of entry for any work order, sales order, is that the salesperson, talks to the customer, captures all the requirements, puts all of the information that is required into the work order, right? That's setting up the play for the rest of the team. So, on my example, we have 11 data points that need to be entered. Now, the second thing is, let's say you wrote the work order. You then have to send them a proof, right? Your art department should be able to pick up that work order, use it, read it, and read all the information that's entered by sales, like decoration type, artwork size, placement, color, blank garment style, and the color of the blank garment, right? They need to take all that information and then make a proof of this shirt without having to ask the salesperson, ideally unless something isn't clear, right? Then they attach the proofs to the work order. We then send the work order with the proofs to the customer for approval to ensure that our understanding of the project is correct. So your customer needs to have those proofs attached to the work order. Procurement, once they approve the job, once the customer approves the job, procurement is going to use that work order and they're gonna use it to know exactly what manufacturer, garment style, and style number, colors, and quantities that they need to order, right? So they're gonna order it based on what's entered in the work order by sales. Receiving needs to be able to look up the work order based on the purchase order number that's on the outside of the box. They're going to look up that work order number and retrieve it. Now they're going to, usually in my shop, they'll print it and use that to cross-reference, cross-check against the packing slip from the blank garment vendor, right? Ensuring that what's been shipped to us matches the work order. If it has a discrepancy, then it doesn't go to production. So, and then they'll also check the physical counts. Also, the screen department and the ink department will use the proofs to know which PMS colors to mix, roughly how big the image is, how much ink do you need, staging, making sure the screens are burned correctly. So they'll use the work order in that manner. Production is going to use the work order to know what type of decoration are we applying to this garment. You know, when is it due? So how do I need to schedule the job, right? They're going to use the proofs to verify that the artwork is correct, rendered in the correct colors, size, placement on the garment. They're also going to use the work order to ensure that the blankets that they've received from the receiving department match the imprint or are correct for the imprint that they're about to put on it, right? So you're going to, again, having all this information is key to every single department. Quality control, after the job is done, they're going to use the work order as a checklist, right? They're going to use the work order to know, okay, all these services are listed on the work order. Have we done all the services that are listed on the work order? And do I have every single garment that's listed on the work order in the correct, style, size, whatever? And then the shipping department, after quality control passes it to them, they're going to use the work order to retrieve the customer shipping information, right? They're going to look up the shipping information, when it needs to be there, what carrier it's going, what service level, if it's going third party, et cetera, et cetera. All that needs to be in the work order as well. So your entire work order needs to be complete, right? And because everybody on your team relies on it. And again, when you don't have complete information entered in a standardized way on your work order, the entire system breaks down. If any one of those people that I just mentioned, get the work order and they don't have the information they need to perform their task, or they don't understand the way the information is entered, right? Or what's been entered, then the system breaks down. And then that person needs to walk away from their station, go ask, yada, 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 which is not ideal in a well-functioning shop, right? So you as a business owner need to ensure that your staff is writing perfect work orders. If you want to know more information on how to write perfect work orders, how to intake customer information in a standardized way so you can put all that information in the work order, and then how to send those work orders to your production so your production has everything they need to produce the job without having to come ask you questions, and then also how to manage your production queues based on your work orders that have been entered, come take my class, right? I'm giving a class on how to create perfect orders. I'm giving you tons and tons of tools for creating perfect work orders, right? And it's going to be really great. It's super high value. And I promise you, if you take my class, you pay for my class, and you don't feel like you got good value, you feel like this was garbage, I wasted my time, I wasted my money on this, let me know. I'll give you a refund. 100% guaranteed satisfaction. Anyways, class is going on Wednesday next week. The link is in the website or whatever. Sign up today and see you soon.